Has to put it in this form, right, which is completing the square. Yeah, and when we complete the square, we can't do it if there's a number in front of the x squared. Okay, we need to just have it as like x squared. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take that number outside, I'm going to factorize it, and in fact I'm only going to factorize the first two terms. So I'm going to take 3 out, and I have a nice square bracket, and then I'm going to ask myself, what do I times by 3 to get 3x squared? So that'll be x squared. What do I times by 3 to get minus 6x? And that'll be minus 2x. Close my square bracket, and then don't forget then that plus 5 I'm going to add on at the end. I don't include that 5 in the factorizing process. So now I've taken out a factor of 3, and if you zoom in on this, then you can complete the square on this, because effectively in that square bracket you just got x squared, haven't you? So with our bracket, x, half that should be minus 1 squared, half that, and then take away then the square of this, and the square of 1 is just 1. Close square bracket plus 5. This then, well, we can now multiply back through by 3 because we've completed the square. So we've got 3 bracket x minus 1 all squared. 3 times that then is minus 3 plus 5. So I'll have 3 bracket x minus 1 all squared, and then minus 3 plus 5 is plus 2. Okay, so I've got the answers that we're looking for. There's my A, there's my B, there's my C. So in part B then it says, use your answer in part A to find the greatest value of this here. Okay, well, let's just focus on this to begin with, right? 3x squared minus 6x plus 5. It ends up being like that when you complete the square. Now this, remember, is a smiley face. It's a U-shaped quadratic, and it's got a least value, isn't it? There's its least value there. Okay, and its least value can be deduced from here. So the least value of 3x squared minus 6x plus 5 is 2. Okay, it's always that value there. Alright, okay, because the least will be this when this bracket is 0. That's when this whole thing is at its lowest, when this bracket is 0, and then x will be 1, of course. Now, in part B then it says find the greatest value of this. Now, if we look here on the bottom, it kind of looks like the quadratic we had, but it's not quite the same, isn't it? But we can rewrite it as the quadratic we had, as in 3x squared minus 6x plus 5. But of course, because it's plus 11, I need to sort of add on another 6, don't I? So I'm splitting out that 11. So I've got my quadratic from part A, plus then an extra 6. Okay? But we know then that this here, completed the square, is that. So 3 bracket x minus 1 all squared plus 2. Okay? Plus that 6 then. So we get 1 over 3 bracket x minus 1 all squared plus 8. Now, to get the greatest of this, think about what the bottom needs to be. It's like a cake, isn't it? You know, to get the greatest slice when you're dividing it up, and we're dividing, you know, to get the greatest slice when you're dividing up a cake, you need to share it, if you think about it, by the least amount of people. Okay, you want to kick people out of there, so you've got less people to share it with, so you have the greatest slice. So to get the greatest of this, we need to divide it by the least amount on the bottom, yeah? And of course the least amount of this is based on the idea we looked at before. The least amount of this is when this is at its lowest, and it's at its lowest, of course, when this bracket thing here becomes 0, and we just get 8 there. So the greatest will be 1 over 8, okay, in this case here.